So it's a Danny and Stuart Armstrong press conference, and we'll see what it's like. Now, Stuart Arron said the move was a big move again, because he only just had a big move in the summer to go to Vancouver. He said Vancouver were very good with him to letting him have the move as well, which is good, and saying how he was really grateful for that. And he said it was a big challenge to have to move and then move again, and discussed it with the family. And when the opportunity came, he took it. He said it was too much of a good deal to come and take and play at Wednesday, which is good to see. You want to hear that from players. You want to hear that being said. He said he's probably not fully up to fitness yet, but he kept himself fit. He's managed to let like the likes of Celtic let him train at their facilities in December, and he's been able to keep on top of that kind of thing. He was in pre-season when he got signed via the club, because they were in Spain on pre-season, so he's got the minutes there, which is good. It's what you want to see. He spoke about knowing some of the lads, aka Palmer, Pato, Bannon, Charles, Valerie. He said it helped him settle in. It's really good to have that, because sometimes you don't get that, and it's interesting to see how he speaks about how quickly everything came along and how he wanted to get the deal done, and it was a case of them coming back home. Basically, by the sounds of it, them coming back home with the family would seem like what through it. Now, the Danny side of it, everybody wants to hear about the one thing, which is the Barry Bannon. Is he injured? But before we start that, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Much appreciate it. Liking helps the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. So, Danny went on to say about West Brom, saying it's a tough game. Just got a new manager. We'll see what we can do there, but they are a very good attacking team. Only 2 points off them, so we're in with a fighting chance. Now, he did speak about injury. He says Sissoko, we'll see what happens when he gets up to match fitness. He spoke about Akin only really being the one that's really injured, so with that case of Iorfa a little bit up to more speed now, well, that could be thrown in contention maybe, because he did say Akin. He said about the mentality, how the mentality is a lot better. It's amazing how it just keeps getting better and better, I mean. And it was the one where everyone's been asking about the whole Barry Bannon stuff. The whole of the chat was like, Bannon fine. Now, when he got asked about injuries, is there any doubts for the game? He says Akin and the 2 or 3 question marks. So kind of saying there is some there, but we're just having a little check on them. Now, remember, the video I did earlier today, I said if Barry Bannon is injured. It's a big if. The problem is with things like this, you get things that get said to one person, then get said to another person, and you never know what happens. But the thing is, the fact that he didn't make it a big highlight in the press conference would say to me that there's nothing to it. We're looking at Bannon being okay for this game for the rest of the season, but you never know, because he said 2 or 3 players. He didn't mention which players they were, but we've just got to see. He said how he liked the mentality. He said it's going to be a big test coming up in the next couple of games, because there's some really tough games going forward, and he wants to see he'll try and get that sorted. He also spoke about deadline day. There were a couple of players that we did look at, but he just didn't want to get a player in for the player's sake. There's some that he looked at and he went, no, not going to do it. Let's move on, kind of thing. So there were players who wanted to come in, and there were players who we inquired about. I said that in the video earlier as well. He spoke about Rio coming in and saying how he can play in different positions, and saying he's happy to get it over the line and done now, so they can have it all done. It's taken a little bit longer to get certain things done, but it's done, it's dusted. Rio is a Sheffield Wednesday player, which is fantastic. Now, the thing is, for me, he was saying how he's a natural fullback, which is what we don't really have. Matt Lowe probably, and Paul are probably the natural one we got, but he's a natural fullback, very attacking, got a good cross on him. We know he got a set piece, because everyone found those set piece videos as him. But the one thing that got me was that Rio was saying, I want to be a Sheffield Wednesday player. I want to be here. And that's huge for us as a club, because that shows someone that wants to be here. He got active. He was happy with the transfer market. He said he was happy to keep Shea, get Soko in and get Stuart in. They're impact players, which is what he wanted, like he's had in previous window where he's had impact players come in. He said he'll take responsibility for the first 10 days because maybe it wasn't quick enough because of the communication and stuff like that. And it's interesting how he said, I'll take the responsibility if that's what people want me to do. But at the end of the day, he spoke very highly about how it was a good window in his eye. He got the impact players he wanted. He asked what kind of player Rayo is between Marv and Max. And it sounds like he's a little bit of a hybrid of the both of them. And it's that interesting thing. He spoke about how he saw him in the Rondon and some of the passes he did. It's like, it's another option there, which is what we need. You want to see us have another option there, and it's really good. We then spoke about how maybe if there is this issue of problems at the back, because we didn't bring in a centre-back, could Shea play there? Could he play there sometime for Wednesday? And he said it's possible. It's always good to see what we can do. And we've got versatile players. That's the thing. We have a hell of a lot of versatile players who can go here, there and everywhere. Here, there and everywhere, which is good. He spoke about how Pato could even go back there if he wanted to. Which was really interesting to see Danny just talk about how versatile the players are, like Max and Valerie can slot into centre-back. He spoke about how Awikwe wasn't in the team and it looked like he wasn't going to be. They had a conversation, an honest conversation about what was going on, and he'd gone away, he worked harder, he's back in the team, which is fantastic. That's what you want to see. Spoke about Chalobah. Chalobah is coming back into fitness, which is good. And he's looking good and he's looking better. He said it'll be interesting to see if maybe we play him at the weekend. And they were asking what his position really is. We know what it is. It's a holding midfielder. He does seem to make players better, is what Alex Miller said in that midfield. He makes them seem a bit better, which is good. That's what you want to do. He also spoke about when to be in the underdogs, Alex, and Danny said, please don't say us as underdogs, the kind of thing. I don't want that underdog versus this, because he spoke about the value of the club and how the club value of players, you've got like 30 odd million with us, or 34 million value of squad to like 200 million as like Leeds or something. And he spoke about how there is that impact, but where we're doing and where we're going is good. I thought it was a really good press conference. Now, we all knew what every question we were going to get asked, he was going to get asked about, especially on the whole injury situation with the whole thing that they're going around saying, is he injured, is he not? Now, we'll find out a bit more. If he starts on Saturday, definitely not injured. But it's that whole thing, having question marks on 2 or 3 players, but also some people kind of say, so why hasn't he not just come out and say he's injured if he is? And it's that whole thing. If he is injured, right, you don't want to let West Brom know he's injured. But it's also like back when Danny said, is there any fresh injury? He did go no. He went no, but he said the question marks on players. So it's that whole thing. Maybe it's checking to see what happened next, how they feel. Let's just see where we're at come match day, because match day you'll know, then you'll see what's happening and where everyone is. It's always fun Wednesday when everything starts going mental. It's why I did the this video earlier today. I went if he's injured and the question mark, because who knows, he might be, he might not be. It's one of those things. You don't want to come out and tell an opposition that your best player is injured if he is. You kind of keep it under wraps. So if it gets to match day and he's not starting, you go, okay, there is a little bit of a knock there. So it's interesting to see. I thought Danny played it well. He spoke very highly, and I thought Stuart spoke really good as well. But Sheffield Wednesday, I've got a game at the weekend. West Brom, midday. I'm doing a watch along. Join me for that. We've also got the situation with the roundup tomorrow night, so join me for that one as well, and we'll just keep having videos coming to all your faces. And thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe. See you later.